Ukraine 2, North Macedonia 1. A game that apparently was only watched by football hipsters, so I don't know what that makes me, but a game that I wasn't expecting a lot from. That was actually a reasonable match. It was reasonably entertaining. Obviously, Ukraine win it 2-1. They deserved to win it, I would say. But they went 2-0 up in half an hour, just a little bit over half an hour. Yarmolenko got the first goal, Yaremchuk got the second, and you kind of thought, well, this is it. This is North Macedonia being put to the sword. And they never continued to press Ukraine. They never really continued to stamp their authority in the game. And it was only due to the deficiencies that North Macedonia have that they won the game, rather than actually them being really excellent from start to finish. Make sure to subscribe if you're new around here. Let's just get talking about it. Yarmolenko's goal was good. It's obviously it's a little bit kind of not tapping at the back post. It's a reasonable finish. Does well to get on the end of it. Goalkeeper maybe should do better, but finds his way in the back of the net. That's what Yarmolenko does. He scores goals, and it's on his weak foot as well. Fair play to him. Yaremchuk, yeah, fine. Can't really say much more than that. Kind of what we expected. Okay, but it all livened up in the second half. It all livened up. Ukraine were okay first hour, or first half, I should say. Definitely deserved to be ahead. Then it was just complete capitulation time that almost let North Macedonia back in the game. We had 2 missed penalties in this game, and both of them you have got genuine arguments for why they would not be penalties. Now, for me, I think the Ukraine one definitely is a penalty. I think that the handball is a handball. I personally like the rule, if you raise your hand up in the air, regardless if it's going to hit someone behind you, if it hits your arm or it hits your hand, it's handball. And that is the case. That was what got given, and I think that one's rightfully given. The one that was actually missed and then scored the rebound, which was from Alioski, I feel Pandev dived. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, no, it was definitely a penalty. The logic, I can understand why it was given as a penalty. But this is where I've got a problem with VAR, see. Pandev dives. He throws himself over all day long. Is there contact? Maybe. But the referee on the pitch, who I thought was useless all game, by the way, he gave it, and now VAR's job is to find something that disproves him. Not to get the right decision, is to find something that disproves him. So, you got the penalty that was given, and because you couldn't find an angle where you actually saw the contact take place, and how he actually tripped and then went over, because you couldn't find that angle, it's now a penalty. If it hadn't been given and they gone, oh yeah, we're going to check that for VAR, and they'd have found the right angle, then great. If they'd have checked it and they couldn't find the angle after not giving it, then we would be in the right position. But it's the massive problem with VAR, is they're looking for clear and obvious mistakes and clear and obvious errors, which that's not what they're there for. Now, in rugby, when you score a try, if you can't give evidence to say that it's a try, and the referee can't give evidence that says it's a try, then we have this neutral ground where nothing happens, which is well respected, and it's one of those things, unfortunately, you get on with it. But you have to look for clear and obvious evidence, which there wasn't any. So it's not a case of the referee's going to give it, and then all of a sudden the try's put down, you can't see the ball, and then it still stands. It's a case of you don't know. You've got to go with the on-field referee's decision. That's fine, but there's logic in that. The referee was nowhere near it at all. Can't be 100% certain. The leg and the movement is suspect, fine, but it's not completely and utterly obvious. There's a lot of problems. There is a lot of problems with it, but I could be here all day talking about VAR. North Macedonia come into the game. Ukraine struggled to kind of see it through. They did in the end. I had bloody Zinchenko in my fantasy team, so he did nothing. Although he was the best player on the pitch, I thought. I thought he played very well in midfield. Moved the ball. He was good in transition. But doesn't do anything for me fantasy team-wise because he's a defender technically. But look, Ukraine are a reasonable side. I think they should go through. They've now got 4 points, which would be enough to see them through, I think. Sorry, no, 3 points, I should say. 4 points, they get a point against Austria. I think both teams would be happy with 4 points, and I think that will see both of them through. But that all, of course, comes down to what Austria do against the Dutch tonight, which is a game of football I'm actually really looking forward to.